Hey everybody, happy, what night of the week is it? Is anybody losing track of time right now? It is Wednesday night. It is Wednesday night and I'm making spaghetti bolognese. Well, my form of spaghetti, which my family really loves. It's always great to make spaghetti on a cold winter's night. It is waning. It is raining outside right now. Oh, hi Jazzy Jazz. You're gonna be bummed because you're not here for spaghetti. I'm doing spag bog. Hi Jeannie and my daughter Jazz and anybody else who's joining. Welcome, welcome, welcome. So I've kind of done a lot of the prep work. What happened was I went to Sid's, our local grocer, and I bought some ground beef and I bought 2 pounds of it. And when the teens aren't here, we don't need to eat, we don't need to make as much, and not a lot of people are stopping by. Often we have a revolving door and a lot of the guys are stopping by, and so I'm always feeding, like people just come in and then I'm always feeding people. I don't know what my dog just did. And so because it's just us three and Meal really doesn't even hardly eat much, I'm just making a smaller round, but I had frozen 2 pounds of ground beef. And so what I did was I have the best food processor. I use the Ninja food processor. I bought it used from a friend. And I did the onions, the 1 onion in there, or maybe I did 2 onions actually. I usually do 1 onion per pound of ground beef. And I do, of course, organic ground beef. And I cooked it all together because I'm gonna split the beef in 2 recipes. So tonight I'm gonna do the spaghetti bolognese, and the beef and the onions are already cooked and done. And then I separated half of it and I put the beef and onions in another dish because tomorrow night, remember I talked to you about those shredded potatoes from day 1. I'm gonna put those shredded potatoes on top of some beef and vegetables and do a shepherd's pie tomorrow night. So now I'm kind of splitting it up a little bit, and then that will be my meat intake pretty much for the week. Like I said earlier, I'm not really a vegetarian, but thanks for joining. Thanks for watching. And first things first, what I'm going to do is get the spaghetti going a little bit further so that can cook while I show you guys how to make the homemade salad dressings. So I try to do as much prep work as possible. Remember, I am not a professional filming person. So in this pot right here, can you see? Last time you couldn't really see. So there is the ground beef with onions, garlic, salt and pepper. And I already did my noodles. And for me, I know a lot of you think that you add olive oil to the boiling water. And you don't. You're supposed to boil the pasta. This is, a chef told me this. You're supposed to boil the pasta, add salt, strain it, rinse it with cold water to get it to kind of stop cooking. Then you put it back in the pan and you add the olive oil then, and you can add salt if you like at that time. I mean, I know you wouldn't think a Filipino would know much about Italian cooking, but hey, I really think there's a part of me that was Italian in my past life. So now that the basis of this is going, I'm gonna add, oh man, I had everything ready except for the bay leaves. Sorry. I'm gonna get the bay leaves out. And just spice rack. So I usually add about 3 bay leaves per pound. We're kind of a flavorful family. We're not really afraid of flavor. So I'll probably add 4. It depends on the size too. A lot of these are crumbled. So, hope you guys are doing okay out there. I've been posting some heavy stuff on my page. I like creating a little bit of awareness and conversation. Just to kind of get things rolling, get people thinking, get people questioning, questioning authority is the best thing we can do, you don't always have to listen to your doctor. Your doctor is not always right. You could do research on your pharmaceutical pills just like you do research on natural products. So I like to create a little bit of controversy out there. So I added the bay leaves in there, and I want that to just kind of start to, I can already start it smelling, and I can smell it as smelling amazing. So I did carrots because if you've watched any of my Facebook Lives, you know that I try to put carrots. Can you guys not hear me? Alice is saying it has no sound. If someone could type in, Alice, that might be you. You might need to tap on your screen. But if someone could let me know if you can't hear me, that would be funny because I've come all this way. So someone just let me know. Doesn't seem like anyone's saying anything. Can you guys hear me? I've got some people on there, and it didn't look like anyone else is saying. Ooh, the real Nettie has joined. Hello, Nedra. Missing you in New Mexico. All right, no one's saying anything, Alice. It might be your computer, but anyway, I'm going to keep going. And Brandy says she can hear me. Thanks, Brandy. So, chopped up carrots. Back in the day when I cared, I do care. I used to like chop my carrots, you know, one by one and like try and make it like looks. The presentation was so important to me. But over time, with a family of 5, that kind of went out the window. So now I basically throw my carrots in the food processor after I've done like the onion. I rinse it out in the garlic. And then I just chop these in the food processor because that's all I have time for. And then I throw them right in. So for those of you just joining, there's ground beef, onion, bay leaves. Oh my gosh, it's already smelling really, really good. So I get those carrots all mixed in there. And I'm going to let the carrots almost cook all the way before I add the mushrooms. I did the same thing with my mushrooms. I used to chop them and make them perfect. Now I just put them straight in, but they don't go in for a little bit. All right, so we're gonna let that cook. Before I go to the salad and the homemade salad dressing, I'm gonna add a little bit of Worcester sauce to that. I know a lot of people say Worcestershire sauce, but if you live in England, you don't say that. You just say Worcester. So that's where I kind of got that from. So I'm adding a lot. I'm probably adding about a tablespoon, and there's a strong likelihood that I will add more once the sauces are in. So I'm gonna let that cook for a minute. I could put a lid on it to make it cook faster. You could add broth if you wanna make it cook faster. Turn up the heat and add a little bit of fluid. I'm just gonna let that soak in the meat juices for a little bit and the Worcester, and I'm gonna show you guys the salad dressing. So, all right. Oops, I just dropped something on the floor. Oh, the bay leaves. Okay. So I got this handy dandy thing for like $4 at the grocery store, and I use it all the time. And I just squeezed 1 lemon into a jar. You guys have been watching my Facebook Lives. You know that I'm obsessed with saving my jars, and I use them for pretty much anything. So this is a jam jar because we like this brand. And so all I'm gonna do to this, that's lemon right there. I pour olive oil into the equal part. My friend Chandra taught me this. I know if you know Chandra, you may know this. It's almost equal part. A tiny bit more olive oil. I don't like it too tart, even though I love tart stuff. So that's it. And adding some salt, some fresh Himalayan sea salt. I don't know, maybe, I don't know, what is that, half a teaspoon? Legit. Put the lid on it. 3 ingredients. Shake it up. And you've got a really yummy homemade dressing. That's important because we're not supposed to be eating too much processed foods, but we're home. And we're doing the best we can do. And that's all we can ask of ourselves. So give that a shake. I've got fresh arugula in here. Some shaved Parmesan cheese. Fresh. I'm gonna open it up. And I just put the shaved, I'll show you guys in a sec. If you have fennel, oh my Lord. This is yummy with fresh fennel. They didn't have any. So I just pour about probably half the jar on there, maybe half of the amount that's in there. I leave a little bit, and that's it. I don't use the whole thing. I save it and I leave it on the counter. Don't refrigerate it because it will harden. Just leave it on your counter, and you can then have it the next day. It's really amazing. And so that's my arugula salad. And then we'll just go back here and I'll finish off the pasta sauce. The carrots are starting to cook a little bit better, but what I'll do is I'm just gonna add the rest of the ingredients and put a lid on it and then let it cook on its own. So for me, I cheat. I do a little bit. I love Merglen as a brand, and I know it's backwards for you guys. These are fire roasted with garlic, petite diced tomatoes. I add that in. And then here's my big cheat. I do a jar of pre-made Merglen organic, and I add that as well. Try and get it all out of there. And then I put a little bit of water in the bottom. Just swivel it around, try not to waste anything. I know my kitchen's probably a mess when I walk away. And I pour that all in there. And now I'm gonna add a dash more of some Worcester, and probably in a little bit some salt and pepper, and the mushrooms at the very, very end. And you could kind of see, I like mine pretty thick. And this will last us. I mean, I may not even need to do the shepherd's pie tomorrow. We may be able to have this, unless Bo takes it at lunch tomorrow. We'll see how that pans out. But you do need to let that cook together for at least 15 minutes. You can come over, Scott. No problem. What? I feel, oh, I thought you were in Taos right now, Nettie. I just saw what you posted. I'm like, you're hanging with your girls in Taos? I thought I was one of your girls. Okay, I had a moment. No, it's about to snow, which I know you would probably not enjoy so much, Ned. But it's raining right now, and I'm making a nice bolognese for the fam. Miel has screamed about 500 times, I'm bored, at the top of her lungs. We are trying to get so creative here. It's really interesting. I work from home, and so this is a really hard time for me. I know most people are like, oh, I'm home, I'm taking a break, I'm gonna clean my house. For me, it's really hard because I'm actually, my office is like, has exploded with stuffed animals and toys and everything all over the place. And it's really, it's hard. It's harder for me in a sense. I'm ironically busier than I've been in a long time. So planning cooking and planning all that around my regular job and career has been really super fascinating. I'm trying to think if I'm forgetting anything. You can add water. You guys, if you reheat for seconds the next day, always add water. You don't want to just like have it in the pan and not add water, because that all absorbs when it goes into the fridge. And when you add water, it gets it all like juicy, scrummy again. So I'm going to add a little bit of water actually from the kettle. If my pasta was cooking right next to this at the same time, I would actually add the pasta cooking juice, you know, the water from the pasta, and put it right into the sauce. That's really what I love to do. But because of time constraints, I actually made the pasta a little while ago. And I'm gonna add a little bit more. I'm probably adding about half a cup just to give it some love. And then I'm gonna add the mushrooms now, because I'm gonna put the lid on. The mushrooms are chopped pretty small. I'm gonna put the lid on and just allow it to cook for about another 20-30 minutes. And there you go. Oh, it needs a little more. I'm gonna add a little more water. Once you add the mushrooms in there, it kind of took up some of it. Although mushrooms have a tendency to sweat. So mushrooms can actually leave a little bit of juice in there. So I wonder what you guys are looking at when I walk away. Oh, it's not too messy of a kitchen, right? So, all right, did I explain everything all right? Here we go. I need to drink some water. Sometimes if I have leftover wine, I'll put it in there. My daughter's school glass. Sometimes I'll put white wine, red wine, whatever I want, you know, whatever you guys want, whatever you fancy. But definitely get the basics in there. I hope that helps a little bit. And maybe you'll cook this. So recipe list. Hi, Craigger. Bo, Craig's on here too. Craig and Nettie. He's giving you the shaka. He's about to go outside with the dogs. Yay, miss you guys so much. What was I just about to say? Oh, so let me just tell you everything that I put in here. Let me wrap this up a minute. What did I put in here, Bo? I put in 1 onion, finely chopped. I don't do red onion. I do yellow onion. I don't even do really a sweet onion. I just do an onion, whatever that is, the organic ones. Yellow. And then I sauteed the onions, made them pretty clear, added the ground beef, cooked the ground beef all the way up with the onions, added salt and pepper, garlic salt. Oh, you know what I haven't added, you guys? I haven't added any of I like to add oregano and thyme and basil to this. So I'll be adding those dried herbs right now. I don't have them fresh. I was so weird. I had a big thing of basil that I bought, and I was drying it out, and it's gone missing. I don't know where it went. So Bo's sneaking into the mozzarella balls right now. So I was gonna do mozzarella balls and cherry tomatoes with fresh basil, with balsamic vinaigrette and olive oil and salt, but I didn't have any fresh basil. So Bo was like, oh, I'll save it for another night, but might not be there by tomorrow night because he's sneaking it. All right, so where was I? We did onions, we did garlic and ground beef, we did all that. We made it all cooked and all that goodness. And then once the ground beef is in there, the first thing we added was carrots, because carrots take the longest to cook. Once you get the carrots in there, get them partially cooked, you can add water as needed. I think I added bay leaves somewhere in the beginning too. That was right, I did the bay leaves. Worcester sauce, don't forget that. Okay, push replay and you'll be able to see everything I did. But I hope this helps. I hope you guys will be inspired to cook something at home for you and your family, your partner. This is great for movie watching and hanging out while we're all at home. And stay strong. This whole thing is just bizarro to me, and I just pray that everybody follows your rules to the best of your ability. I'm super high risk, and I have friends that are very high risk, and I just pray that we all stay healthy and we get through this, bring down that big hill, bring it, flatten the line, whatever they call it, and be inspired to spend time with your kids. Oh, lastly, today, oh my God, Nettie, you'll appreciate this. We decided to do a Zoom with all of our kids on the Zoom. If you've never been on Zoom, it's like a webinar thing. And everybody can jump on there all at once. And there's video screens of all of us. And I'm like, okay, I got to do something to get this kid, to stop screaming that she's bored. So we do a Zoom, and it's Nicole and her two girls and Lisa and her daughter and Dara and her son. It was Jenny's son Cass's birthday. We decided to Zoom him in and sing him happy birthday. And we're all on the Zoom together, and all the kids are just yelling at each other the entire time. And I'm thinking, this is supposed to, like, they're excited. They're not yelling in a bad way. They're just talking over on top of each other. And I'm just like, okay, wait, this is meant to be like helpful. And it felt crazy. But Lisa did read a book to the kids on Zoom and ask questions and show the pictures, and it was just a really great way. So if you have friends that you're missing of all ages, you can get on Zoom. If you don't know what Zoom is, go to zoom.us. You can get a free account, and you can be vibing with your tribe in no matter where you're at. And that can be for work or that can be for play. And it's kind of cool to be able to connect in with people, especially if you're feeling isolated right now. I'm busy enough. I'm not feeling so completely isolated. But I know a lot of people are, and let's not go too far into our heads and get into that depressed state. And don't forget, if you do get depressed or sad, I have a product for you, because I'm going to plug that, right? You didn't think I wasn't. Okay, that's it. I think we're good. Flatten the curve, stay home. Thanks, Nedra. Thanks, Michelle. Fun. I'll Zoom with you guys anytime, too. Anybody that wants to Zoom. And have a great evening. Thanks. Sorry I missed last night. Thanks for being patient. Mwah. Thanks, everybody.